Topic: The Other Side of the Bridge by Anadil Iftikhar. Holding her assignment in her hand, Sarah wiped away her tears. Her assignment shone with an A plus. Her teacher, Mr. Alim, when handing her the assignment, had arrogantly exclaimed that for a Nazimabadi, her flawless English was a surprise. The entire class burst into laughter. This boosted the teacher's morale. "You are sure that this wasn't edited by Ayla?" he mocked. Despite the A plus, he didn't bother to praise Sarah's efforts. Ayla, the class snob, who couldn't read Urdu and faked her accent, was someone everyone hovered around, including Sarah, till the gorgeous diva snubbed her for being a Nazimabadi, wearing sneakers with her shalwar kameez, and having such a silly fashion sense. Sarah's bus reached the stop. She got off the bus and climbed onto a Chingchi rickshaw that would take her to her home on Mangopi Road inside town. The bus went straight towards Nazmabad. Sarah regretted lying about living in Nazmabad. She should have declared Garden as her locality. Mangopir, what a silly name, thought Sarah. The walk to the main road, the bus ride to university, the constant taunting of her classmates and teachers, to her parents' suspicious nature. Sarah's life was stuck in a harness. Sarah was in her third semester of social sciences at university. In the past 1 year, Sarah had learned to control her classmates' taunting through her intelligent assignments. Her classmates, mostly duffers, in her opinion, relied on her notebooks and free tutoring for passing tests and assignments. In return, Sarah made sure they behaved, refusing to help those who taunted her. Zoya and Sarah used to leave college together. Zoya often dropped Sarah at Shara-e Faisal on her way home to Karsas. As Sarah got out at the Daud Kota intersection one day, Zoya's 11-year-old cousin innocently asked her why she had befriended such a poor girl. Zoya shot him a look that was meant to scare him. The little boy shut up. Zoya had invited everyone to her sister's wedding. Sarah only showed up at the walima, although she excused herself, saying that the location of the walima in North Nazimabad was convenient for her. Zoya knew it had a lot to do with the fact that Ayla and gang were not coming to the walima. She is really an empowered woman, Zoya thought admiringly, thinking that Sarah's commuting on public buses just so she could get a good education was something for which she should be respected. Ayla needed notes from Sarah, or else she was going to flunk the semester. She went to the library, knowing that Sarah was going to be there. "Hey Sarah, nice ajrak. Let me guess, you are a Sindhi nationalist." Ayla tried to break the ice between them. Sarah was too dumbfounded to reply. She stared at Ayla. "Can I have your notes?" Ayla asked. "Yes, you can have them," Sarah replied, and regretted only a minute later. Who was Ayla? The bourgeois, and she the proletariat? But Marxist proletariat was supposed to revolt and overthrow the bourgeois. I would like to revolt against this fake witch. Her demonic thought was suppressed by her proletariat attitude of giving away a labor of her notebook to the evil capitalist. Next time she would say no to Ayla. A few days later, Zoya, Ayla, Sonia, and Faiza were snuggled in Zoya's car as he drove to North Nazmabad. "My love for Hardee's has brought me to this village," Ayla remarked. "Dude, that is some serious commitment to Hardee's," Sonia replied. After 2 hours and with bellies full of junk food, Zoya, Ayla, Sonia, and Faiza sat in the car. The driver, instead of turning left from the KD roundabout, went straight. "Uncle, Why are we going this way? Asked Zoya. To their horror, they were informed that a political worker had been shot dead at Mina Bazar, which was on their route. They were at the Paposh signal when Ayla looked around, well aware that this was the neighborhood where she had been born, a secret she kept to herself. After crossing the Paposh signal, they found themselves stranded as the cars weren't moving. Finally, when the car started to move, the driver climbed onto the bridge instead of turning left on the Liaquatabad road. The road was blocked, and stones were being pelted at cars trying to cross it. Ayla screamed that before anyone shot them, it would be wise to go to Sarah's home. Yes, that's we should do, Zoya said as she dialed Sarah's number. Sarah, please help us. Zoya's plea hit her ears and crushed her dignity. No, I can't let her see my real life. Being a Nazimabadi was a million times better than being a Mango Piran. Zoya couldn't see her house, her street laden with sewage water and hens roaming openly. Tell me, where your house is? There are random men shooting. Before we get shot, help us. Sarah didn't want Zoya and her driver dying because of her. God give me a heart attack, thought Sarah. With a heavy heart, she directed Zoya to her home. After 35 minutes, Zoya reached the designated place, shocked because it was in Nazimabad. There were laborers working in marble shops. The roads were unpaved. Sarah stood at the end of the road, waving at them. The car followed her till they reached Sarah's house. Once inside, they climbed the stairs. The lower portion belonged to the landlord. The house was clean but small and modest. Sarah made them sit in the living room as her mother brought them a jug of water. When Sonia was moving forward to take the glass, Faiza slapped her, saying it wasn't boiled or filtered. Sarah's mother, who was bringing home made samosas to the living room, overheard the girls. She stopped right in her tracks. Sarah came up behind her, but from her mother's expression knew something evil must have been said. Sarah walked into the living room, embarrassed at being exposed. Sonia and Faiza were thinking what a big liar Sarah was. Because Nazmabad was a cleaner area, she pretended to be a Nazmabadi. They wanted to rub it in her face, but not now. While sitting in her house, Sarah was famous for her short temper. If she got pissed, she would throw all of them out of her house. Zoya's driver enjoyed the plate of samosas served to him. Sarah lives here. He always thought that only evil women went to universities. He held Sarah in high esteem. The day passed by. The girls drank Pepsi and ate chips. Sarah kept thinking apprehensively about future taunts that were to come her way. Ayla was going to tell Mr. Alim, and he would mock her even more. The girls left the next morning, each thanked their host for the generosity. As the car turned the corner, Sonia went first. We should kick her out. What will people think that a prestigious university like ours has such a cheap crowd? Zoya added how hurt she was because Sarah lied to her. Faiza also went ahead and said nasty things. Ayla was quiet. They kept heaping comments on Sarah till the driver interrupted with a simple, "She saved your life, Maxim." This shut them all up. The next day, when Sarah reached the campus, she ran into her classmates. They waved at her. Ayla was sitting amongst them. Run away was the first thought that came to Sarah's mind, but she journeyed into the red zone. Hey, how are you? Asked Ayla. Sarah replied casually. Her impatience was imploding. When was Ayla going to drop the bomb on her and blow her cover? The next 2 days passed with Sarah's impatience reaching toxic levels. No one had taunted or mocked her. Hey Sarah, here are your notes. Thanks a lot, Ayla said. Sarah's heart skipped a beat. Faiza and Sonia stood behind. It was just them. Ayla would definitely say something. And yes, thanks for the other day, you really saved us. And since I won't be going to Hardy's anymore, could you bring me their meals? I would pay you. As long as you pay me, I will, Sarah replied. Isla left the library. Sarah smiled broadly.